Hey, can you hear my fan going? My room is just arctically cold.
You're listening to And This Is Why I Love Comics.
Andy and Mike. Andy and Mike.
And welcome to another episode of And This Is Why I Love Comics. I'm Andy.
And I'm like,
And I almost said I'm Mike, and that wasn't very good. You know, that's not a good start. But, I didn't say it, so that you gotta...
you're clear.
Gotta like
no one's going to ever know.
Welcome to the show. Yes, we are still recording. As I said on the Facebook page, we're just catching up on some things. And hopefully there won't be as much of a break once we start putting these out. We have a kind of a new format we're going to do. We're going to do some shorter episodes and then a longer episode. If you're new, go back, listen to a couple other ones, and then come back here so you know what we're talking about when we change our format and stuff. So it's nothing drastic. Don't worry. We will probably talk more about comics in this new format than the old one. We do love comics. Trust us. Idea of the show, Mike and I are old friends. We've known each other since high school. We've collected comics and we played games and all this stuff. We've been friends for a long time. So we're crotchety old men now, and we like to still discuss the comics that we read, or some instances we don't read. So we're going to keep doing that. Don't worry. If you have something for us, you can send us a text. It's marked on right up at the top of our description of the episode. Send us a text. You can support the show. You do all kinds of things on Facebook, and I don't know. Is it okay to say we're still on the Twitter? I'm not sure anymore. With politics, but yeah, we're on the TikTok. Why I Love the Comics podcast. So go out and see what we're all about, and then come back here, or you can do. I think you can do both. Isn't technology wonderful? You could listen to us and go out and check us out. I feel like I've crossed over to the asking my 7-year-old how to fix the VCR.
Yeah, it's still blinking 12
and stuff like that. Yeah, I have my number 3 child. He's getting very tech savvy, so he's starting to tell me things I don't know, and I don't like it. It's I'm supposed to know everything, right? He's a lot of help, and so is my 7-year-old. How's it going, Mike?
It's going great, man. Happy New Year, and
yeah,
looking forward
Merry Christmas.
What's going to show up in 2025?
Yeah, that's right. We'll talk predictions probably in the next long episode that we do. We'll see how we're doing. We're kind of just getting back into the rhythm of it. Everything in the comic world, it's kind of crazy. Diamond has filed bankruptcy again. But from what I understand, they weren't really doing Marvel or DC stuff anyway, so it was just independent. So each big company has got their own distributor now, which I kind of like.
But at the same point, I mean, it was great when you got those preview magazines at the comic shop, and you were able to kind of see everything that's coming out in one spot. Now there's like a Marvel Insider and a DC Insider or whatever. They got their own publication saying, here's what books are coming out from us. Order from things like part of Penguin Publishing or Random House, something like that. It's who's now distributing Marvel comics in DC. Diamond still does all of the Image. It still does all the independent comics. And a lot of toys and a lot of games go through Diamond. So it's going to be rough for a lot of comic shops. Ultimately, that's who's going to suffer from it.
We should interview a comic shop and see how they struggle and what's changed with that. Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. I've lined up a couple of our regulars for the next, not for the next couple, but in the near future. Finally, get Kevin back, new comic reader Kevin.
Yep.
It's now been like 2 years since we've had him on.
Yeah,
so
he might have wrapped up reading the Black Panther books.
He might not even be reading comics anymore. I don't know. He's like, nope, that still is one of our most popular episodes, so we got to have him back. We really do. Make sure that happens in the next couple episodes, because we've been promising it for a while now. But he got busy. He got a girlfriend and everything, so,
God, getting a real life growing up.
Right? I know it. Anyway, he's also, the bass guitar for Thunder Chicken, who's still doing our music. So thank you, Thunder Chicken. It's been a while. Have you even been to a comic shop lately?
No. I'm thinking we have one of the chains of half price books by us, and they carry everything. And they have a section for comic books that they sell, but it's not their focal point. So that's the last I had gone to get to see comics, but I haven't been inside a comic shop. It's got to be 6 months.
Probably the same for me. I know Lang's in Muskegon has got a much bigger store. They're populating now for a grand reopening kind of thing.
Nice.
So they're just populating that with everything that they have. So that should be fun when they do that. And other than that, I've been kind of into some role playing. I got my D&D club still this year at my kid's school, and we're doing that. Boy, do I have a couple stories for that. But other than that, I've just been trying to catch up on a lot of my work stuff, and work's been really busy lately. We're trying to get a lot of our inventory out, and that's just a lot of pricing and realizing that some of it is junk and just donating stuff. And so we're trying to catch up on that. We've got a long ways to go, but it's been a lot of fun. So we've been focusing on that a bit. And like I said, we're moving kids around into new bedrooms, a lot of work around the house. It's probably going to be another month or two of all that stuff, but should be a much better run house when we're done. And we got a new stove.
Oh,
there's that. We were without a stove for
microwave and everything, or just using the lit matches.
It was the oven part that was broken. The glass on the front broke.
Oof.
And so we could not cook anything in there. We just got a new one, and it's awesome, and we can finally cook meals again in the oven, and life's getting back on track. I realized how much I would like a new kitchen, with new fridge, going shopping around. It's like, oh, look at this. And,
yeah. Isn't adulting fun?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got
fun in quotes, air quotes.
Yeah. Heavy quotes.
So that's about it. Man, I sound boring and adult.
Yeah. Well, there's always fun of comics. That brings us back down to more enjoyable levels.
Right.
Yeah, offsets all that adulting.
My nephew got married last spring break, and sure enough, just the other day, he gave me his box of comics to sell for him. Once you're married, you don't need comics anymore.
Move on.
Right. So that was fun. Looking through that, he's got a lot of good stuff that I'm sure we'll talk about before I sell them. Some new supply of trades that I'll have on hand to talk about. I always like to hold them in my hand rather than digital, but, old me could see how he could go digital and then just not have the weight of the boxes downstairs, all that stuff. This next year, it's going to be fun to try and figure out where to store things and what I can sell and go digital. I said this at the beginning of 2025. This is my year. This is it. This is the good year. Things are going to happen.
Was it Steve Martin's a jerk? Things are going to start happening to me now.
I'm a month in, and I still think I'm doing all right. So this is going great so far. We did talk about future comics to read. Probably in the next episode, we'll talk about Grant Morrison's JLA. And you hadn't read it before. No. I have read it a long time ago. Should we even read old stories again? I know I'm showing my hand a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about it in the next episode. But
I think there's always with solid, prolific writers that, Alan Moore's and Grant Morrison, to a lesser degree, like Mark Waid and some of the others, where it's like they put out solid materials. I don't know if we really need to even qualify it as this is old stuff. It's like it still reads well.
Yeah, there's a group of writers that are almost timeless. could have written successfully in any decade. Just like a step above, almost like ahead of their time writing. I do think Grant Morrison is one of those. There is a writer we can't talk about anymore, who's on his way down after big reveals of what kind of character he was. We did review a book of his, a few, and probably won't go back to that series again.
But different perspective on it, that's for sure.
Certainly does, and we won't. I don't even want to mention him anymore, which is too bad because he certainly had specific characters that he could write well, but apparently he
influential.
Wouldn't you know it? Turned out to be allegedly a scumbag. We'll let the court of law decide that.
Innocent until proven otherwise.
Until proven scummy. Other books we have wanted to read. Is there anything that falls on top of your list that you want to get to next after this?
Well, I mean, one of the things that I just picked up a few from the Half Price books, but it was, as we are in a new year, I wanted to hit up some of those old New Universe books and to see what they were. I'd never read them. And I was primarily looking at Night Mask and Starbrand. Those are the ones that seem to have had any lingering effects even after the New Universe kind of imploded. And those are the two characters that actually wound up making their way back into the main Marvel universe. So I was kind of curious to see if you would have any interest in reading New Year, New Universe.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a vague memory of Starbrand, but other than that, I have no connection whatsoever to the New Universe. I think I own a couple issues of some, but I can't say I've ever read them.
Yeah, the series ended with like John Byrne taking it over, both writing and drawing duties. Yeah, and he just kind of collapsed the entire thing. It's like, oh, and here's how we wrap up the whole New Universe.
Lock it on your way out.
Yeah,
and that's it. But yeah, I would love to go through a couple of those series.
Anything salvageable? I mean, they had some good titles, like I mentioned, but then they also had like Kickers Inc., I believe, was part of the New Universe, and Justice.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll put that on the schedule. There's also, I want to do Alan Davis's The Nail.
Oh, yeah. No Justice title, yeah.
So we'll put that on the list, too. It sounds like mine are DC heavy, so I'm trying to think of some other things. We don't just do DC or Marvel. We try to do some independents, too. So
yeah, I wanted to do The Goon for a while.
Yeah, The Goon. That's a great one.
Eric Powell's. Again, not terribly recent, but it's still... somewhat timeless, even though it harkens back to olden days, so to speak.
And I also thought maybe doing a couple issues of Hellboy would be also fun.
Yeah,
to do.
Yeah, because we haven't talked about Mignola, a book by him, except for our very first episode of.
Come back to that, and Hellboy certainly deserves some attention. Of course, there's always Criminal we should go back to for those independent ones as well. Yeah, definitely Brubaker and Phillips deserve some more spotlight. For the Marvel side, we could always, I think we've ignored Civil War. We should probably do that, even though there was a movie about it. I don't think it had anything to do with...
Didn't quite align with what they were doing, but it worked within the movie, the cinematic universe part.
And there was a Civil War 2, and I'm trying to think, there was one other Marvel that I wanted to do, but of course I can't think of it. We don't always do just events. We do some regular issues as well, so we can do that too. Of course, we still have a new Teen Titans read that we're going through. We've done the first 12, I believe, so we'll have to add that to the calendar as well. We're not short of ideas, that's for sure.
Yeah, always more books to go after.
Right. It's just what order do we want to do them in, and what do you want to listen to, the audience? So if you have any ideas, just let us know. When I read all the info at the end, you could use any of those to get in contact with us and let us know what you want to hear.
Yeah. Have you ever really read, and I know you're not a fan, we talked about Fan 4 previously, but the coming of Galactus, those few issues there, as we're looking to kind of change up the format, I've always been kind of interested to talk about that cosmic level early on. How did they do? In hindsight, we always go like, wow, those were great issues, but could you imagine reading it, as if this was the first time, like, who's this Watcher guy? Who's this Silver Surfer guy? And then it's like, oh, somebody bigger's coming. And then you find out it's, Galactus. It's like, holy crap.
Right.
We kind of take Galactus for granted now, but I feel like, man, that would have been amazing to, read it again under the, as if you were coming at it for the first time.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever read that initial book. We could certainly add that to the list. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Fantastic Four. I'm hit or miss. I don't want to say I hate them because I don't. I've enjoyed some of their stories. I usually enjoy them more when they're guests in other books.
Yeah.
Like Avengers. Oh, look, there's the Fantastic Four. I think that's pretty cool. But their own book, I mean, we've reviewed, I think it was 4 issues, and Galactus was in it. It was okay. Like, in my memory, it was, it's just okay. I'm more of a Silver Surfer fan than I am a Fan 4 fan. Something about it, and maybe the upcoming movie will convince me that they're great. I don't think they will, but it's possible.
Yeah, the movies have been less than spectacular.
For sure, yeah. The new Captain America movie, as we're talking, is probably a month away. Harrison Ford, and it's the Falcon Cap and all that stuff. And, and my favorite Disney series was Falcon and Winter Soldier. So kind of looking forward to this. I don't expect a whole lot, which kind of helps.
Yeah.
Because as long as I'm entertained, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's good.
It's doing what it's doing. Do you think it will actually make a profit? Because I think it's got, $450 million in just to make the movie?
No, I don't. I mean, eventually, probably, but I don't think it's going to blow everybody's eyes out of their sockets. People, I think, want to see this movie and they want it to do good. But again, they've second-tiered all these characters because the old actors don't want to do it anymore and have aged out almost.
Although Downey Jr. is coming back.
Right. And rather than recast, they want to move on to secondary characters. And I like the actor who's the new Captain America and stuff. And I hope it does well. I really think Marvel should just continue with the main cast and then once in a while throw us a curve. If you have to recast. I'm not tied to any actor anymore like I used to be.
Yeah.
I just want to see a good film.
Because you think about between James Bond constantly recasting, they had 3 actors in 4 movies for Batman. So
yep.
And no one seemed to be like, can't believe they did that. I was like, no, that was almost immediately. Keaton was out, Kilmer was in.
And it's even Wolverine. I loved Hugh Jackman for Wolverine. I love him. It's great. But he is aging out, and, if they recast him, I'm not going to hate it. It'll be comparing the two because you can't help but doing that. But, let's get a new Wolverine in there and tell some stories while he's young enough to do 4 or 5 movies. And, let's just not be so tied to one actor. Now I say that, and the new Superman movie's coming out, and I still want Henry Cavill in. So, there I am with that.
Well, he never got really a good fair shake at it.
No,
Man of Steel movie was not good. And then Batman became, it was more of a Batman movie instead of a Superman movie. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Then then it was the Justice League movie. So he never really had a chance to really be Superman. And he didn't even show up as Superman in that Shazam movie. They had a body double for him. And I was like, dang, that dude never gets a chance. And then they did give him in that terrible Black Adam film. And then it was just this post-credit cameo, and that's how he goes out.
Yeah, and I've seen previews for the new one, and I don't hate it, but I still would rather have Henry Cavill as Superman and have him be in this movie. But if it's entertaining, I will come out of that theater going, yep, that's good. I'm glad Henry Cavill wasn't in it. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm ready for movies to tell some stories, and I don't care what actor it is, as long as they're decent enough looking, and as the character, I don't care if they're good
Yeah.
looking or not.
Yeah.
But,
They embody the role.
cast it out. If it didn't work out, cast it again. It's just a movie. I'm hoping more of the plot is better than who they pick, really, because I just want some good stories. I was really hoping Lex Luthor wasn't in this one, but he is.
Well, I will say that actor is actually quite good because Gene Hackman kind of played it for laughs, and it was fine. It was definitely a product of the 70s. And then, Kevin Spacey was just barely acting in that one. I think he was just like, yep,
He was awful.
thanks for the money. That's all I wanted.
Was that Jesse Eisenberg?
Yes,
I don't know.
Eisenberg, thank you. Another terrible cast.
But I'll go see that in the theater. There's not many movies I have to see in the theater anymore, but I'll see the next Superman. And if I have time, I might go see Cap as it comes out. Might sneak out while the kids are in school or something. But
yeah, there's several times where my dad used to, back when video rentals, he would screen it when we were younger. And I remember he would bring a movie home from the rentals. He'd start watching it after we all turned it in for the night. It's like, I need to see this first if it's appropriate for you guys to watch. There are several times when movies just disappeared.
Right. Hey, what happened to that?
Yeah.
Oh, it was good, but you couldn't watch it.
Not for you, young eyes.
Right. So we've talked about books we want to talk about. We've talked about movies. Let's wrap this one up. Let's see how this goes.
Yep. Short and sweet.
So definitely short and sweet. If you want to get a hold of us, send us a text. You can go to any of our websites. It should say, especially on the Buzzsprout site, there's a send us a text link on the top. It goes right to our page. And we will answer your questions. You can also email us at andthisiswhyilovecomics@gmail.com, our webpage, so that you could hit that send us a text. It's and this is why I love comics podcast.buzzsprout.com. We're on the Facebook, and this is why I love comics podcast. And on there you can see the calendar of events. And when we decide on a book, you'll see it there first. You join the TikTok. We are at Why I Love Comics Podcast. We're on the Twitter, and this is why L1. Thanks to our supporters and friends of the show. Thanks to producer Katie and producer Tony, co-hosts Matt 2.0, Kevin, Jamie, Matt 10.0, and Nick. And thanks to Thunder Chicken. Check them out on Spotify. There's a link in our show notes. That was our first one back. What do you think?
I'm all excited to kind of get back into the routine so I'm not stammering over my own words.
Yeah, me too. And we'll be back, surprisingly, next week. You'll hear us once a week, and then we'll have a long episode at the end of the month. So we'll have some shorter episodes. We'll be in your podcast stream all month long. So get used to us and let us know what you want to hear. Again, if you want us to talk about a certain book, let us know. Just contact us, put it on the Facebook page. Leave us a 5-star review, do all that stuff. Let us know what you want to hear, and we will talk to you next time. And for the podcast, I'm Andy.
And I'm like,
and we'll talk to you next time.
that we will.
Hard when you're in the dark, but luckily I have it on my phone. I don't need light.
Yeah. Light is for lesser mortals.